Captain Alex Mercer stood on the bridge of the human exploratory ship Endeavour, watching the endless stars drift past the large viewing window. The ship was deep in an uncharted region of space, far from Earth and its familiar blue skies. This part of the galaxy was wild and full of dangers, but it was also full of mystery and promise. Alex had been chosen to lead this mission because of his courage and calm under pressure. Suddenly, the ship's sensors beeped urgently. Something large was approaching fast. The crew scrambled to their stations. The Endeavour was not a warship, but it was equipped with enough technology to defend itself. Alex tightened his grip on the console and ordered, "Prepare for contact. Stay alert." Outside the window, a massive ship appeared from a nearby asteroid belt. It was unlike anything the humans had seen before. Its design was sharp and angular, covered in dark metal plates that shimmered with a strange light. This was no friendly vessel. It belonged to the Zerthians, a proud alien warrior race known for their strength and honor. A loud voice echoed through the Endeavour's communication system, speaking in a harsh, clipped tone. The words were translated instantly into English. "I am Kayla of the Zerthian tribe. Humans, you are weak and unworthy of this space. Surrender now and you will be spared." Alex looked at the crew, who shared a mix of fear and determination. He raised his hand to speak. "This is Captain Mercer of the Endeavour. We come in peace and mean no harm. Let us discuss a way to avoid conflict." Kayla's voice was cold. "Your peace is weakness. We Zerthians respect only strength." The tension in the room was thick. The Zerthians were known as fierce warriors. Their words were not empty threats. But Alex refused to back down. "We may be different, but we have survived because of our courage and our minds," he said firmly. "There is more to strength than just physical power." Suddenly, the ship jolted violently. The Endeavour's alarm screamed. The Zerthian ship had fired a warning shot, a bright energy pulse that hit the Endeavour's shields. "Stop your attack," Alex shouted into the communicator. "We want peace." But Kayla did not respond. Instead, her ship moved closer and deployed several small fighters. The battle was beginning. The crew of the Endeavour worked quickly. Though their ship was not designed for heavy combat, their pilots used smart tactics to avoid the enemy fighters. The humans focused on protecting the ship rather than destroying the enemy. Alex hoped this would show Kayla that humans fought differently. One fighter closed in on the Endeavour, aiming for the engines. Pilot Sarah Chen moved with skill, dodging the attacker's fire and shooting it down before it could do damage. The crew cheered quietly, but Alex knew this was only the start. As the fight continued, the Endeavour's sensors picked up another signal. It was a distress call from a nearby moon. Alex made a quick decision. "We can't ignore that. Maybe there are survivors we can help." Kayla's voice came over again, sharper than before. "Foolish human. You waste time on weak lives. Come back or be destroyed." Alex ignored the warning. "We have to help," he said. "It is the right thing to do." He ordered the ship to change course. The crew followed without question. They reached the moon's surface and landed near the source of the distress signal. The air was thin and cold, and the landscape was rocky and barren. Alex led a small team out onto the surface. They moved carefully, scanning for signs of life. Soon they found a group of injured Zerthian fighters surrounded by a pack of strange alien creatures. The creatures were fast and dangerous. Without hesitation, Alex's team opened fire, driving the creatures away. The Zerthian fighters were shocked but grateful. Alex approached one of them. She was tall and strong, with sharp eyes and battle scars. This was Kayla herself. "You saved me," Kayla said, her voice softer than before. She looked at Alex with a mixture of surprise and something else, respect. Alex nodded. "We didn't come here to fight you. We came to survive and to help if we could." Kayla studied him for a long moment. "Humans are not as weak as I thought," she admitted. "Maybe there is more to you." The two warriors, once enemies, now found themselves bound by the same fight for survival. The moon was still dangerous, and the alien creatures were not finished. Alex and Kayla formed a fragile alliance. Together, they would face the challenges ahead. And maybe, just maybe, they could learn from each other. The sky darkened as the alien sun set behind jagged mountains. Around the campfire, humans and Zerthians sat side by side. The tension had eased, replaced by cautious curiosity. Kayla told stories of her people's traditions and battles. Alex shared tales of Earth, its history, and the human spirit. Neither would admit it aloud, but something was changing. The barrier of distrust was breaking down. Strength was being measured not just by muscle or weapons, but by heart and mind. In the quiet of the night, as the stars shone overhead, Alex felt a new hope. This mission, once thought to be a simple exploration, had become something greater. It was the beginning of a meeting of worlds, and in this meeting humanity might show its true strength. The moon's cold wind whispered through the rocky canyons as dawn broke over the strange world. Captain Alex Mercer stood beside Kayla, the fierce Xerthian warrior, watching the rising sun paint the sky with pale light. Though they were from very different worlds, something unspoken now connected them. Kayla's sharp eyes flicked toward the distant mountains. "Humans survive because you adapt," she said quietly. "But you are still weak. Your bodies are soft compared to mine. Strength means victory. That is the way of the Xerthians." Alex nodded thoughtfully. "Strength is important," he replied. "But it is not just about muscles or weapons. Strength is also about courage, intelligence, and working together." Kayla gave a small laugh, low and rough. "Your words are strange. We Xerthians respect strength in battle, the power to crush your enemy. You humans talk too much," Alex smiled. "Maybe we talk because we think carefully before we act. We use our minds as much as our hands." Their uneasy truce was put to the test when the Endeavour received a new distress signal. This time it came from a nearby space station orbiting a mining colony. The signal was weak but clear. Something was wrong. "We should investigate," Alex said. "There may be people in danger." Kayla looked skeptical. "Another foolish human choice. We could ignore the signal and move on." "But you choose to help." "Why?" Alex shrugged. "Because it is the right thing to do. Not just for us, but for others too. Strength is not just winning fights. It is protecting those who cannot protect themselves." Kayla shook her head but did not argue. She knew humans often acted from different values. Sometimes that made them unpredictable. The Endeavour changed course and set a steady path toward the station. As they approached, the crew noticed the station was badly damaged. Fires burned on its surface and the hull was scarred with deep dents. Something violent had struck here recently. "Scan for life signs," Alex ordered. The sensors beeped quickly. There were survivors, but their life signs were weak. The station was failing and time was running out. Kayla prepared her weapons. "This will be a real test of your human strength, Captain." Alex gave a firm nod. "We are ready." The Endeavour docked with the station's damaged bay. Alex led a team of humans and Xerthians inside. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of burning metal. Flickering lights cast long shadows in the empty corridors. Suddenly, the sound of movement echoed nearby. Alien creatures like the ones from the moon had invaded the station. They moved quickly and attacked without mercy. Alex's team fought back with whatever weapons they could find. The humans used clever traps and coordinated attacks, while Kayla's Xerthian warriors charged headfirst into battle with raw power. Despite the chaos, the humans' teamwork was impressive. Sarah Chen, the pilot, used a handheld scanner to map the enemy's movements and direct the group around traps. Another crew member set off an explosion that blocked a corridor, trapping several creatures. Kayla watched with surprise as the humans combined their strengths in ways she had never seen. They worked as one, covering each other's backs and thinking ahead. Her warrior pride was challenged. In the middle of the fight, Alex spotted a wounded scientist trapped under debris. Without hesitation, he rushed forward, ignoring the danger around him. With Kayla's help, he lifted the heavy metal and pulled the scientist to safety. "Humans are brave," Kayla admitted aloud, her voice carrying respect. The scientist gasped, coughing from the smoke. "Thank you," she whispered. "We thought no one would come." Alex smiled. "You're safe now." The team pushed deeper into the station, searching for survivors. Every corner was a battle. The alien creatures were relentless, but the humans and Xerthians refused to give up. At one point, the station's power flickered and went out. The darkness was complete. Only the glow of Kayla's Xerthian blade and the soft lights of human flashlights cut through the black. Alex moved carefully, relying on sound and trust in his team. They reached the control room, where the last group of survivors had taken shelter. A tense moment passed as the creatures closed in. Then Kayla stepped forward, her blade flashing in the dark as she fought them off. Alex provided cover with his laser rifle, protecting Kayla from a surprise attack. When the creatures finally retreated, the survivors cheered softly. The team had won this battle, but the station was still falling apart. "Prepare for evacuation," Alex ordered. "We need to get everyone to the Endeavour before this place collapses." As the survivors moved toward the airlock, Kayla stood beside Alex. "You humans fight with courage and cleverness. I am beginning to understand your strength, Alex smiled, and I am learning that strength means more than just power. It is the will to keep going, even when things seem impossible. The crew loaded the survivors onto the ship. The Endeavour lifted off just as the station began to crumble, sending pieces of metal and fire into space. Back on the ship, Kayla looked out at the stars. She was silent for a long time. Then she turned to Alex. Perhaps I judged you too quickly. Humans are not weak. You have a strength I did not expect. Alex nodded. We all have more strength than we think. Sometimes it takes a challenge to show it. The two warriors stood together, their respect for each other growing. The mission was far from over. The galaxy was full of danger, but also opportunity. As the Endeavour sailed through space, Alex knew this was just the beginning of their true test. Kayla's challenge was not only about strength in battle, but about understanding what it meant to be strong. And Alex was ready to prove that humanity could rise to that test. The Endeavour cruised through the dark void of space, carrying the survivors from the destroyed station. The ship's crew worked tirelessly to treat the injured and repair the damaged sections of the ship. Captain Alex Mercer kept a close eye on Kayla, the fierce Xerthian warrior who now traveled with them. Her fierce pride was still clear, but so was the growing respect between the two. Days passed in uneasy silence. The crew adjusted to their new reality, working together with the Xerthians to prepare for what lay ahead. Their common enemy was still out there, an alien force that threatened every species in this part of the galaxy. One morning, the ship's sensors picked up a sudden spike in energy readings. A distress beacon flashed on the main screen. It came from a nearby planet, harsh, rocky, and covered in storms. The signal was weak but urgent. Alex studied the readings carefully. This is not just a signal. It's a call for help. Kayla's eyes narrowed. Another test. You humans are quick to rush to danger. It could be a trap, Alex replied calmly. Or it could be people who need us. The crew prepared for a descent to the planet's surface. Alex led the landing team, including Kayla and several human engineers and medics. The planet was hostile. The sky was gray, heavy with thick clouds, and the wind howled fiercely. The rocky ground was uneven, with jagged cliffs and deep crevices. As they approached the source of the distress signal, the team encountered signs of battle. Burned-out vehicles, broken weapons, and footprints marked the landscape. Something violent had taken place here. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the ground nearby. The team dove for cover. Alien creatures appeared from the shadows, larger and more aggressive than any they had seen before. Their sharp claws and glowing eyes made them terrifying opponents. Kayla charged forward without hesitation, her blade flashing in the dim light. She fought with fierce strength and skill, cutting through the attackers. Alex followed closely behind, using his laser rifle to protect the team. Despite their efforts, the alien creatures were many and fast. The team was pushed back, forced to retreat toward a nearby cave. Inside the cave, they found more survivors, humans and Xerthians alike, huddled together, injured and scared. Alex quickly organized a defense. The team worked to fortify the cave entrance with whatever materials they could find. The injured were given medical attention, and Kayla stood watch at the entrance, ready for the next attack. Hours passed. The wind outside grew louder and the storm intensified. The alien creatures circled the cave, waiting for the right moment to strike. Alex paced, thinking of a plan. We can't hold out here forever. We need to find a way to get off this planet. Kayla nodded. The storm will cover our escape, but we must be fast and strong. As night fell, the creatures attacked in full force. The battle was fierce and brutal. Alex and Kayla fought side by side, their skills complementing each other. Kayla's powerful strikes broke through enemy lines, while Alex's quick thinking and teamwork kept the team alive. Suddenly, during the chaos, Kayla was struck by a powerful blow. She stumbled, falling to the ground. Alex rushed to her side as the enemies pressed closer. Stay with me, he urged, shielding her with his body. Kayla's breathing was shallow. Her eyes locked onto Alex's, filled with pain and something deeper, a silent plea. The team fought desperately to push back the attackers. Sarah Chen led a group to flank the creatures, while the medics worked to stabilize Kayla. Alex carried Kayla into the deeper part of the cave, away from the battle. He gently laid her down and checked her wounds. She was badly hurt, her strength fading fast. We have to get her to the ship, Alex said, his voice steady but urgent. But the storm outside had worsened. The rocky terrain was dangerous and the alien creatures still hunted them. Alex called for reinforcements on the ship. The Endeavor prepared for a risky rescue mission, sending out a team with hover vehicles to bring them back. Time was running out. Kayla's breathing grew weaker. Alex held her hand, refusing to let go. "You are stronger than I thought," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Humans, you fight not just with strength, but with heart." Alex smiled faintly. "That's what makes us strong." The rescue team arrived just as the alien creatures closed in again. The team fought to clear a path. Alex and the others moved quickly, carrying Kayla and the injured to the hover vehicles. The storm howled around them, lightning flashing through the dark clouds. The ground shook with the force of the wind. As they lifted off, Kayla opened her eyes and looked at Alex. Tears formed, but not from pain. They were tears of gratitude and realization. "You saved me," she said softly. "I thought humans were weak." "I was wrong." Alex squeezed her hand gently. "We all have our own strengths. Sometimes it takes saving each other to see them." Back aboard the Endeavor, Kayla was taken to the medical bay. The crew worked around the clock to heal her. The ship felt different now, less like a human ship and more like a place where two species were becoming one. Days passed and Kayla slowly recovered. The pain in her body was replaced by a new understanding in her heart. She spent time talking with Alex, learning about humans and their ways. "I have always believed strength was only physical," Kayla admitted, "but you have shown me courage and kindness are just as powerful." Alex nodded. "Strength is many things. It is what makes us fight for what we believe in, even when we are afraid." Kayla looked out the window at the stars. "You have changed me. I will never forget this." Their bond was no longer just that of allies. It was something deeper, built on respect and shared experience. But the galaxy was not done testing them. The enemy that had attacked the station and the planet was still out there, growing stronger. The Endeavor and its crew would face more dangers before this mission was over. For now, Alex and Kayla prepared for what was next. Together, they would face whatever came with the strength they had found in each other. The medical bay aboard the Endeavor was quiet except for the soft hum of machines. Kayla lay resting, her body healing from the wounds sustained during the battle on the stormy planet. Captain Alex Mercer sat beside her, watching her breathe steadily. The pain in her eyes was fading, replaced by something new, a slow awakening. Kayla's fierce spirit had not been broken, but it was softened now. She was beginning to understand a truth that went beyond what she had ever known as a Xerthian warrior. Strength was more than just power in battle. It was about heart and will. Alex looked at her with quiet respect. "You've come a long way, Kayla." She opened her eyes and met his gaze. "I am learning that humans are strong in ways I never believed. Your kindness, your willingness to risk everything for others, it is a kind of strength I did not see before." Alex smiled gently. "We don't always fight with weapons. Sometimes the greatest battles are won by helping each other." Kayla nodded slowly, the weight of her pride and past beliefs shifting. For a warrior like her, this change was not easy. Her entire life had been built on physical strength and honor in battle. Now she faced a new challenge, accepting a different kind of power. As the days passed, Kayla spent more time with the human crew. She learned about their stories, their dreams, and their fears. She shared her own tales of Xerthian battles and traditions. Through these exchanges, the walls between them began to fall. One afternoon, Alex invited Kayla to join him on the bridge. The Endeavor was approaching a dense asteroid field, a dangerous path but the fastest route to their next destination. Navigating it would require careful planning and trust. Kayla studied the controls with interest. "You humans are clever. You use your minds to find ways through danger." Alex nodded. "Brains and courage. We learn from every challenge." The ship moved slowly, weaving between massive rocks that could crush them with a single hit. Kayla felt a thrill watching the crew work together with precision. She realized that strength was not just in fighting but in trusting others. Suddenly, the ship's alarm sounded. Sensors detected a fast-moving vessel entering the asteroid field. An enemy scout from the alien force that had attacked the station and the planet. "Prepare for battle," Alex ordered calmly, "but stay focused on the asteroid field. We can't afford to lose control here." Kayla readied her weapons. This is the real test. Show me, human, how you fight. The enemy ship fired first, sending a volley of energy blast toward the Endeavor. The crew responded quickly, using their shields and evasive maneuvers to avoid damage. Alex worked closely with the pilots, directing their moves. The humans used the asteroid field to their advantage, weaving in and out of danger zones that were too tight for the enemy to follow easily. Kayla fought bravely alongside the humans. She struck with power and skill, taking down enemy drones that tried to attack the ship. Despite the pressure, the Endeavor held steady. The enemy was forced to retreat after several minutes of tense fighting. The crew cheered quietly, relief washing over them. Kayla looked at Alex with new admiration. "You did not just survive," she said. "You used your mind and your crew to turn the tide." "That is true strength," Alex smiled. "We all have something to offer. Strength comes in many forms." Later, Kayla asked to speak with the crew's historian, a quiet woman named Lila. They talked about the meaning of strength and honor, and how different cultures saw these ideas. Kayla realized that her Xerthian beliefs were not wrong, but incomplete. The humans taught her that strength could be gentle and kind, and that sometimes protecting others was the greatest victory. That night, as the ship sailed on through the stars, Kayla stood alone looking out at the endless space. Tears welled in her eyes, not from sadness but from a deep sense of change. She was grateful to Alex and the humans for opening her eyes to a new way of seeing the universe. Her warrior heart was still strong, but now it beat with a different rhythm, one that included hope, compassion, and understanding. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Kayla knew she was no longer alone. Together with the humans, she was ready to face whatever came next. The Endeavor glided through the quiet depths of space, its crew weary but determined. After the fierce battles and narrow escapes, the ship was finally heading toward a chance for peace. A meeting with a coalition of alien races united against the common enemy that threatened the galaxy. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the bridge, his gaze steady on the stars beyond the thick glass. Beside him stood Kayla, the Xerthian warrior who had once looked down on humans but now stood as his closest ally. The past weeks had changed both of them. Where once there was only mistrust and rivalry, there was now respect and friendship. Kayla's voice was calm as she spoke. "I once believed that strength meant standing alone and crushing your enemies, but I have learned that strength is also found in unity, in standing together." Alex nodded. "We are stronger when we work as one. Alone, we can be defeated, but together we can overcome any challenge." Their mission was clear. The enemy they faced was powerful and cruel. The alien forces that attacked the station and the stormy planet were part of a larger invasion that threatened countless worlds. The coalition meeting was their chance to unite all those who wished for peace and survival. As the Endeavor approached the coalition's space station, the crew prepared for the talks ahead. Representatives from many species filled the grand hall, each with their own stories, hopes, and fears. Alex and Kayla entered together. The crowd turned, surprised to see the Xerthian warrior with the human captain. Kayla raised her head high and spoke clearly. "I was wrong to judge humans as weak. They have shown me courage, kindness, and a strength beyond battle." The hall was silent for a moment, then filled with murmurs of approval. Alex added, "We face a threat that does not respect borders or species. If we stand divided, we will fall. But if we stand united, we will protect all our homes." The leaders nodded and began discussions on how to work together. Plans were made for shared defenses, resource exchanges, and joint missions. While the talks continued, Alex and Kayla met privately. Kayla looked at him with a rare softness. "You saved my life, and in doing so, you saved more than just me. You saved a chance for peace between our peoples." Alex smiled. Sometimes saving one life can change everything. Their bond had become a symbol of hope, showing that old enemies could become allies. But peace was not yet certain. During the meeting, an urgent alert sounded. Enemy ships had been detected near a vital coalition world. Without hesitation, the coalition forces sprang into action. The Endeavor and its allies moved swiftly to defend the planet. The battle was fierce. Ships clashed in the darkness of space, energy beams lighting up the void. The coalition fleet was outnumbered, but their coordination was strong. Alex commanded the Endeavor with skill, coordinating with Kayla and other leaders. Together, they led daring attacks and clever defenses. During the fight, Kayla faced a powerful enemy captain, an old rival who refused to believe she had changed. Their duel was fierce, each strike filled with years of history and emotion. But Kayla fought not just with strength, but with the new understanding she had gained. Her moves were precise and thoughtful. In the end, Kayla defeated her opponent but spared his life. "This is what I have learned," she said firmly. "Strength is mercy as much as power." The battle ended with the coalition victorious. The enemy retreated, their forces broken. Back on the Endeavor, the crew celebrated, but Alex and Kayla knew this was only the beginning. "We have proven that unity works," Alex said. "Now we must build on it." Kayla smiled, her eyes shining. "And I will stand by your side, human. Together we are stronger than any enemy." The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but the bond between humans and Xerthians had changed everything. As the Endeavor sailed through the stars once more, Alex and Kayla stood together on the bridge, ready to face whatever the future held. They had learned that true strength was not in who was strongest alone, but in who could stand together, and that strength would carry them forward into a new era of hope.